Hello everyone, today we're going to be doing old-fashioned replay analysis for a Hecarim game that I received a request for. So the first thing is we're going to go over runes and masteries while this person is loading into the game. So this is going to be silver, huh? Alright, that's no big deal. We're going to start off with here. Seems that it cuts off the recording early, but that's no big deal. So we're going to put that there. We're gonna change the fog of war. Let's see, ghost. That's fine. That's fine. Hecarim is a champion that, in the current state of the game, he's actually like they nerfed the jungle indirectly by nerfing. Like they nerf him indirectly by hitting the presence of the jungle with the spawn timers. They hit the jungle with item changes, etc., etc. Things that originally made him really strong. Colossus, like old Colossus before they nerfed it, um, stronger Cinderhulk, earlier spawn times for the buffs. These things made him very powerful, but it only comes down like they don't nerf the champion directly. Every single thing that is not the champion, aka items, the jungle, and masteries, things that make him like even more powerful, they get nerfed. So he gets nerfed indirectly. But that's not to say that he's a weak champion. He's just in a really weird state. All right. So going over your masteries, there's only one change that I can really see. I looked at him earlier, and is that you need a sorcery because Hecarim has 4 damage abilities. Hecarim having 4 damage abilities just means that you're constantly doing what he's meant to be doing, which is damage. Now, looking at your runes, the only change I can really see is lethality for reds. But if you don't wish to do that, which is fine because if you do lethality, you kind of get really low on your clear. Then you can just keep it as attack damage. This is fine. This is fine. This is absolutely important, and I love that you already have runes already set in stone for it. Also, you should take a double-edged sword because the double-edged sword this takes at least 3 champions like or 3 full ganks in 3 different lanes. You got to kill 3 people in order to make it equally as effective as double-edged sword. So instead, you want as much damage as possible in the early game. Battle Trance takes 3 seconds to ramp up, and it requires you to be in combat for 3 seconds, whereas double-edged sword will always have its innate 3% increase. Seems that your skill order is also perfectly fine too. Okay, so let's get into the actual game itself. And now I'm liking that you do a blue start. It's completely fine for you to do a blue start. Just keep in mind that invasions do exist, but Hecarim must complete a full clear in order for him to be effective. So we're gonna see how you play it out. You told me you had questions in the game, so I will be able to answer those questions. And it's actually pretty hard for you to play Hecarim like in general because like he's also a decision making champion too. He doesn't really take that much mechanics. So we're gonna go ahead and start. Okay, so one small tip that you can do, like right around here, is that instead of actually just standing and kiting here, I noticed you didn't use a pot. That's okay. It's because you have Soraka. That makes sense. But you should move the blue like from the blue to here, so that you clear quicker. Because the distance that you travel from here all the way to here is a lot longer than if you drag the blue to around here. You want to drag it as far as possible without possibly resetting it. There was an instance where you can even go deeper and you can get both of them attacked at the same time. You kill one, you level up, you start fighting this at the same time you start fighting this one. It's really weird, but it does work. Just get into the practice of it, but start dragging this more this way. Let's say that they had a blitzcrank or something. You can drag it all the way over here and force blitzcrank from here to like walk over here and something like that. It's just kind of like if it spawns and blitzcrank grabs it, it's done. But that's just a tip. You could just drag it over here and decrease the distance that you have to travel to get to the next camp, which increases your clear speed. So the faster you clear, the sooner you can make a gank, or the sooner you can base to prep for a gank. You know, every second counts as a jungler. Practice smiting to kill, but it's okay to do it like this too. It's not that big of a deal. I mean, like, it doesn't change anything really. Okay. So it seems that Warwick, hold on, now, you see that Warwick got an assist on this. Even if you aren't paying attention to lanes, okay? Which you should be as a jungler. You should be checking each lane. You should be checking this one too. You notice they're both low. You can't obviously respond. You look at his CS. It's at 1. What the fuck? Wait. Where the fuck's his buff? Is this a glitch? The fuck? Wait. Oh, there it is. What the hell was that? Okay. Oh, so he took your red because he has red buff. So what do? Well, you kill this, then you go straight into his jungle and take his red. There really isn't any other option. So you gotta go quick. Now, normally what you would do is you would stop doing this camp if you check immediately. You have to check, like if you see another jungler just appear out of nowhere, press tab to see what he has. He has 1 CS. You assume that he's going to be taking blue then ganking, or he takes your red and ganks. Because there's only one possible option for you to have 1 CS and come off and get a successful gank. And it's if you do your buff. Because it's not possible for him to do the Gromp or, like, you know, the Raptors that fast with a proper leash, etc, etc. This dragging is fine, but look, you kind of get level 3, right? But you can't really, like, remember, like I said, Hecarim must complete a full clear, so he has to do his jungle with 22 CS in order to properly accelerate the game. So you skilled up Q here, right? And what you want to do is, if you had spotted that Warwick, you should have just gone into here, skilled up Q still, it's fine, or skilled up E, it doesn't matter. You go into his jungle, because as you're traversing the jungle from here all the way through the river to here, the likelihood of it being warded doesn't exist. And let me just press F1 to show you. There no wards at all. See, this is the enemy's point of view, no wards. It's very unlikely that a player will ward defensively like that. On top of that, consider that even if they say, oh, just ward my red, it expires. Because the ward only lasts a minute. It's gonna expire. Unless these guys stood here until like 2 minutes, which forces Lux to be extremely late in lane. Just to ward this. It's still not enough. So instead, you should have stopped here. As soon as you saw that Warwick top, check him out. Oh, he has 1 CS. Press tab, move down. Move down, down. Like, all the way through the jungle. Hit the plant if you have to, lol. Go through here. Take the Raptors. Then, you know that he has to answer to his own jungle. Take his red. Then, take his Krugs. Now, you've literally done almost a full clear. You recall, you go back, you do top-down clear, which is a top and then go down like this way, and then you'll have 4 more camps in sequential order. Sure, this camp might be a little bit lower level, but guess what? You did a solid fluid clear while obtaining a massive amount of CS. Warwick will come out with 5 CS. If he goes and invades your Raptors, then he comes out with 11. If you do this successfully, not only do you come out with 22 CS, a proper 22 CS, but then there's a possibility that you also gain an additional 16. So you come out with 37, and he comes out with 5. And 37 to 5, you're going to be level 5, close to 6, while he's barely level 3. Like, I mean, like, that's huge for Hecarim, because the faster he ramps up, the sooner he gets his Triforce, the more powerful he becomes. Like, the sooner you can get your power ramp spike. So anyway, you're going to be clearing your Raptors. Watching some trades. Alright, that's cool. Now the thing with Hecarim is that you have to start, you gotta clear a lot, like, in order for the shit to happen, because, like, it's just like, you need level 4, and you need to do a full clear in order to buy all the core items that exist in his kit. So it's kind of awkward, like, you know, not purchasing all those items. You should not hit 4 off of this. I don't think you hit 4 off of this. Yeah, I thought so. So instead, with the amount of gold that you have, just be careful. What you should do is you just soak some lane EXP. Like, show up mid and just, like, sit there and soak lane EXP. Don't even try to fight. Try to find a lane that, like, has some EXP for you to soak. Another thing is that if you see that he took your red, like, as soon as you see that he took your red, you should not skill up Q for a second time. That's fucking retarded. Just a tip, Warwick is also one of the harder matchups for Hecarim. Not because of his invade, but just because like in general he's very durable, he's tanky, and he moves like quick. I see a free kill on Caitlyn down here if you were 4. You can't go and kill Crab, by the way. You really don't want to go and kill Crab. It takes up too much time. Instead, you should just prep for the Gromp. This is gonna take up an extremely large amount of your mana, and you don't have Hunter's Pot because you couldn't afford it. That's not on you. Instead, I think you should have purchased a Control Ward. If you had some extra gold, you should have purchased a Control Ward. You may charge in for this, but remember that you don't have E. So instead, all you're gonna do, you have to dodge the snare. Okay, that's a pretty bad snare from her. Okay, that's an exhaust. You should time that. You should not go any further. Stop. You don't have Sheen. You shouldn't be going forward. Jesus Christ. That wasn't really free. Look, you gotta understand that you can't gank without E. Like that, you might have burned their heal, but it's not worth it if you get chunked down like this. Now you're 4, right? So like I said, you should have soaked EXP, whether it be top or mid, right? You just sit by, soak EXP or base, and then just like get to level 4. Then you can force a gank because you need that knockback. You can skill QWQ, like you didn't hear QWQ, only if your jungle is completely safe. Hence why, if you just took a look at top lane when Warwick was there and you knew that he took your red, then you could have responded with QWE. And sometimes it's better to skill QWE. I mean, like, it doesn't decrease your clear speed, it just means that you still have gank potential at 3. It just means your damage output is lower. This is easy. You have to burn his flash. He's gonna flash. He's gonna flash. Hello? What the fuck is wrong with you? Smite, 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 smite. Oh my god, you don't have smite. That's fine. I don't think you guys should be doing dragon at all. I don't think you guys should ever be doing dragon when the jungler's low. That's a good idea to back up. Okay, you should recall. You have an assist and you did 1 camp. Yeah, just enough for. Okay, you have a choice. You either buy Sheen or you buy Hunter's Pot. I would still buy the Sheen. You need your items. You know, good job, good job. So you know what items to rush? I think it's because you said you watched my guides or my coaching on Hecarim. Yeah, Sheen first because you need the mana. Follow it up with Phage for the speed, and then lastly you get the Triforce. Then you upgrade the jungle item, and then etc. etc. And you good. Okay. Do need to consider your Hunter's Potion down the line, but because you didn't do a full clear, you can't buy it, obviously. But Hunter's Potion does keep you in jungle sustain, so consider that it is an extremely valuable item. Fuck, can't speak today. Okay. Remember that you can drag the creeps. Just practice dragging aggro. Like you did it over here on this camp, and it just helps you get into the next camp faster. Cause right now you have to be the thing with, oh my god, this fucking bastard. Yeah, Echo, be the hero that he needs. Fuck him up, fam. Yeah. Oh god, the flash. Time to, oh no. Wait, here comes the Riven though. Boom, chunkadunk. Auto. Nice wind slash. Back out. Good job, boys. Yeah, defend that red with your lives. Who has red? Yeah, okay, that's fine. Remember, you can go invade his jungle too. This is where your trinket ward comes in. Also, if you have an extra slot for a control ward, remember when I told you could have purchased a control ward earlier? It also would have made it so impossible for you to purchase Sheen. But ignoring that, if you had a control ward earlier, you would be able to go into his Raptors. Now, another standard route is that it's called the counter invasion route. When you know that there's a champion in the game that has the ability to steal your shit, and that champion isn't efficiently able to clear Raptors nor Krugs, i.e. Elise and Warwick, they are not able to do it efficiently. They can do it, it just doesn't mean that they can do it fast. Nice. This is a really dangerous gank. You should stop. Oh, Jesus, no. I mean, it's gonna work at the, oh my, burn the flash, no. She doesn't have ulti, 1 auto. Alright. Push the lane, 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 push, push. Fuck, really, no. I mean, you guys were gonna get out, get away any, what the fuck? Oh, you hit the ward. Damn. Look, you can't. Okay, so when it comes to committing, like when he burned his flash, I would have stopped there. And the reason why I would have stopped there is because like that's enough as is. Also, there's no wards here, and you know that Warwick is gonna be topside because first of all he was just there. I don't think he no, he did die, but he has to answer to this topside because he didn't have blue when he invaded your jungle. So when you're doing blue, you can easily you're just auto attacking and queuing, right? Let's go back. Let's go back. Let's go back. Watch. So all I see when you're doing blue buff is you're Q autoing it. Like there really isn't any skill involved. Like I don't really have to watch my character, do I? You know? So With that being said, you should be paying attention to what's happening over on this side of the map. I love this ping. This is a really smart ping. So then you get some action-packed adventures going on over here. Watch. So you look at him. And actually, I do know that Warwick doesn't have blue. And the reason why I know that is because Echo has red. Because Echo killed Warwick. I think Echo killed Warwick. If it wasn't Echo, it was Riven. But Riven didn't have buffs. Oh, no. This fucking bitch didn't even die. Well, it doesn't matter. None of them have blue buffs, right? So if you pay attention, then yeah, none of them have blue buffs. So knowing that, I thought Echo fucking got the kill, but Riven did get a kill, and it wasn't on the Warwick. I thought that one death was from something else. Anyway, so what you would consider is, wait, yeah, you should do this, not 6. You should be looking at other lanes to see what kind of buffs that they have. This is the same situation as the level 1 situation. What you would do is you would check, oh, does he have blue buff? No, he's probably going to do it then. So that means that he has to be on his left side of the jungle. That's it. It just means that his left side of the jungle, he has to be there. So that means that you can't overextend for too long. If you get a gank off, you know that he's going to respawn. Look at your HP. It's at 50%. You don't want to gank a lane with 50% HP. This is where Hunter's Potion comes in. So you knock him back, you get him dunked. He flashes, stop. Hold your gank right away. You did not ward upon entering the lane. When you're walking in, walk in like this and ward, then go. That way you have a key to see if Warwick is, coming or not. I know Warwick is coming because he had to heal somewhere, which is at his base, and he just charges in. There he is, and you guys get screwed. You guys can't do anything about it either. And he just straight kills you. You should be looking at that bot lane. You see that they use flash. Lux has no flash. Caitlyn has no flash. Should be looking mid lane. Should be looking bot lane because those are the only lanes that are alive. So at this point, yes, you are buying the correct items. And what's happening right now is you're not able to, it's not even a transitional lead, it's just that you're not even able to get pressure down on lanes because sometimes your ganks are a little wild. As in, you commit when you know it's free, but you overcommit. Like there are certain limitations to what a free kill really is. You don't have to go all the way that deep to get one kill. Like yeah, you got it, but the next thing that you should have done after is push the lane, etc., etc. So the lane's down in a negative position. Okay, knock him back. He has no flash. That's not how you're supposed to do it. If you have ulti, you should have ulted behind him, or you should have waited till your ulti came up, ult behind him, knock him back, push him away, because you know he has no flash. You remember that he has no flash because Riven and you Riven flashed at the same time he flashed earlier. Therefore, you guys should not be able to lose that kill if you just ult behind him to fear him backwards, then knock him back to push him even further. So this is a really aggressive call. You notice that you still have 2 camps available, and you have a flashless enemy bot lane. Consider that you have a flashless enemy bot lane, and you have ulti. You don't have Hunter Spot, but that's fine. You can still come in and kill them. You really should consider this Rift Herald is only beneficial for like certain champions. I mean, like you shouldn't be soloing it. Like you should be pinging help. If nobody's coming, you really shouldn't. Like do it. It's taking way too long. You really, yeah. So you asked me if Rift Herald is useful. Like if someone else is helping you do it, yes. Otherwise, you're wasting too much time. Like you're wasting an extremely large amount of time doing it, and like 2 people just got killed and you get 25 gold. Like that's not really worth it, is it? Like if you're gonna pick it up, like just drop it. Like it's not worth it. And if you die with it, you lose it. So now you're forced to back and you have 3 camps available. For the most part, you should be farming your jungle over that. Like, this is a really fast recall, so that's really cool. You got the phage. Did you have enough for a control ward? Yeah. For the most part, you also should be considering a hunter's pot. It's kind of hard to get it set up. Yeah, okay, so remind me why you got hit by this. Like, it's coming in a straight line. This is the most obvious thing in the world. What? What the fuck? You can't get hit by skill shots, like, no matter what. It came from the longest distance too. You can't just walk into it. Oh my god. Now you can't force the gank. I mean you can, but and she has no ulti. They have no flash, you should just go. But you're just at lower amounts of HP. Yeah, see now you have to stop. Stop ganking. Like, it's just not gonna work. This is awful, Jesus. Just get back into your jungle, dude. You're wasting time. You shouldn't be pushing either. Like they're too low to continue anyway, and you don't have any wards. Like, what are you doing? Okay, like summon the Rift Herald, sure, but this doesn't really change anything. You should really get out of the fucking lane. Like, leave the fucking lane already, dude. What the fuck? Oh my god. Christ. Look, they're tanking tower. Like, look, hello. You just got them both killed, dude. Like, this is, you don't need to fucking, oh, and your Rift Herald's gone too. What a waste. Like, you need to set it up when it's free. Hecarim is a greedy jungler, not a team player solo carry, like, or not a team player like grouped carry. You go around slaughtering people at your own will. You don't say, "Hey, help me out." No, you do it yourself. If you go, it's your kill. You have to get it alone. You're 1v9ing. That's how the champion fucking works. You don't 2v8, 3v5, or 3v7, 4v6, or 5v5. You 1v9. You don't care about your team. You take their CS. That's why I say you should push this lane up at top when you kill the Nasus. You take that CS for yourself. You have too many jungle camps available to you, which means that, like, when you don't clear them, they become underleveled. So if they become underleveled, that means that you get less EXP for clearing them because the level gap between you and the mobs are low, is small. And then Warwick has gotten off 6 successful ganks, at the same time kept up his farm. You have gotten off one more successful gank, I guess 2, like, quote unquote, right? So 2 successful ganks, but you don't have as much farm as him, so you're underleveled. Yes, he invaded you, but that's not a problem. Even if you're invaded, there are methods that you can consider that go around it. So when the typical Lee Sin cheese, or anybody that wants to invade you cheese, is they do their, if they're on blue side, it's easier. Red buff, wolves, blue, gank. How to counter that? You do this, you take this, and you take that. You base, you clear top down. That's it. That's your counter. That was the only method that you have. It's considered standard. They call it vertical jungling instead of horizontal jungling, because horizontal jungling is going from right to left or left to right, and vertical jungling is going up to down. Because, like, it's basically standard because everybody just goes and invades your jungle anyway. So that they know that, like, you require a full clear in order for you to ramp up, because you need to hit level 4. That's the first condition. You need to purchase a hunter's pot, or just purchase your sapphire crystal and a boot, and you need to gank, obviously. So you're set up for that. I think you should have E'd sooner. That didn't do as much damage as you're supposed to have it do. Remember that, like, the longer the knockback, like, your goal is to try to get him into the tower. There was a chance that it would have come into the tower. I don't know why you backed up. There was an echo on your team, like, right there. See, like, I think you're using your E as a defensive mechanism. Like, you're barely knocking them back. You should ramp it up more. So if you say, I saw that you were going to, like, try to kill that Nasus, like, shove it, try to push him back. There's a chance that he might be shoved all the way into the tower. Like, obviously he can't escape. So that's one thing. Second, you should use your ult next time instead of your E, because of the fear. Not just because of the damage, but because of the fear. So you E'd him first, then you ulted, whereas you can ult first, then E someone back. The more efficient method is to ult someone and treat it as a gap closer rather than just ulting someone for the fear. For this case, it was actually for the fear. You have to consider both possibilities and just think which one's more effective. Oh, I'm gonna use my ult to fear them. I'm gonna use my ult to gap close the distance so I can knock them back, because that's usually what typical Hecarim players do. They use the ult as a mass gap closer with ghost and accelerate, and then just kaboom. Okay, that's good. You should farm your Krugs base. With those 2 kills, you should be able to recall after you kill those Krugs, then go down. You were out of mana anyway, so you gotta smite this. Yeah, that's what I thought. Remember bot lane? Okay, so right now, it's been about 5 minutes. Bot lane probably has flash. You should make that assumption under the circumstance that things are given like that. Because it's been 5 minutes and you didn't get a successful gank off the first time. You know that whenever they go Mia, like, you gotta be careful. You don't ward whenever you're about to go and get a gank off. Because, like, you don't know, like, if you warded here, right, you would check if there's a control ward here so that you can gank at a different path. If they don't, because you can't rely on your teammates to tell you, hey, there's a fucking ward here. Because they're probably not smart enough to do something like that anyway. So instead, what you should do is you should ward it yourself. That's why I asked you to buy all those control wards. As for your purchase, I think Ninja Tabby's fine. I think Merchants is also equally as fine. Like, both boots serve beneficial purposes. I mean, Warwick is the most fed, and he's AD. Caitlyn's also kind of fed, so that's AD. So you can negate their damage. Again, you're using your E so weak, like in the weakest form. Like, what the fuck is that? Like, ramp it the fuck up, dude. It needs to go to 100. Like, it's as if you're like, oh, it's E knockback. I don't realize it does damage. Like, you use this, it's as if you treat it as an auto attack reset or something. It's not even an auto attack reset, it's a fully charged gap closing speed up that increases as you ramp it up. It takes 4 full seconds, I think, maybe less. You just have to run really fucking fast for it to ramp up. And you knock someone back farther. Shove this Warwick into the tower so that if he has Cinder Hulk, so if you use Cinder Hulk on him, right? Like, or if he has Cinder Hulk, that means that if it hits you, then the tower will target him because you're getting hit under tower. That's how it works. If you get aggroed under tower, it's how it works. So this was an 83, it's close enough, and then you E auto Q, and then you just ramp him. When you walk forward, don't charge at him in a straight line. Move in a zigzag pattern. You know that these players have linear skill shots. You have to be able to move out of their way and dodge them. You don't have ulti, that's fine. You can go. You should have just ghosted on her and just started staying on top of her once you knew that her binding is down. Hence why, like, Hecarim is a decision-making champion. If you decide to eat skill shots, you're in for the wrong. I mean, I don't think it's right for you to eat skill shots, like, at all on Hecarim. You really gotta move. Like, you don't just stay on top of them, right-click them to death, and spam Q while right-clicking them to death. You really gotta move in between, like, to actively avoid point-blank skill shots, not to get rooted, not to get so-and-so. Because, like, he's a tank, and what makes him tanky, aside from being a good player, like, to dodge skill shots, is also the items he decides to pick. So in this case, you do need a little bit of magic resist. I would recommend Visage. In this patch, Gargoyle Stoneplate, I think that's the name of the item. It's really good. That's actually a really good item. It's a replacement for GA. It's so good. You sacrifice your damage, but you become a mega tank. But you also have to rely on a lot of your mana, so you just gotta be really careful when you use it. I personally think it's pretty fucking good. Okay, so you're charging in. The problem is that, like, sometimes you have your trinket ward and you just don't use it, but then, like, sometimes you do use it and it's in, like, really weird spots. You should be using it to check. Just fear them, ult them, fear them. What the fuck? Full ult. Cast your fucking R! Fucking retard! You had like 6 opportunities to cast your fucking ulti. Holy fucking shit, dude. What the fuck is this? Like, are you trying to play like a team member or something? What are you fucking afraid of? What the fuck, man? What is this shit? What the fuck is that? Like, okay, there's a Lux here. I would ult that. I would slaughter her right now. I don't care if there's anybody in here. I don't care if you don't have a ward. Go for it. It's a free kill. What the fuck? Okay, it's Warwick. Can you kill him 1v1? No, you can't, because it's going to take way too long with the amount of health and armor that he has. Can you kill this bitch 1v1? Yes, you can. Why? You're fucking Hecarim. You max E second. That's good. You can slot. Look at his HP. Do you not think you can kill him with the E auto Q combo? You fucking messed it up, but, like, that's fine. You should still be able to ult her. She will die. If Caitlyn doesn't have heal, she will die. If she has heal, you burn heal. Then you ult and stay on top of them. What the fuck, man? This doesn't mean anything. You're not supposed to care about them in the first place. You're Hecarim. Charge in. Like, right here. I see another opportunity. Look at them. They're not even paying attention to you because they know that you're retarded. What is this? What are you aiming for? Why am I clicking? Like, your mouse indicates where your face of the character indicates where you're clicking. Why are you clicking here? The enemies are here. If I'm not mistaken, I see my enemies right here. I don't know what you're looking. Oh, if you're going bot lane, that's fine. I mean, if you're gonna abandon your fucking teammates. Oh, you're gonna keep going. Okay. The fuck is this? What is this movement? What is that? What the fuck was this? Okay. And then you decide to turn in. Okay, now you turn in. So instead of looking down this way for a free 3-man, now 4-man ult, you decide to walk around and do nothing. Okay, that's pretty cool too. Now you ult and you only hit 2 instead of 4 or 3. Then a teleport comes in. That doesn't matter. You get rooted because, you know, you get fucking rooted and you eat every single shot. You still have Ghost, which for God's reason, I don't know why you still have Ghost. You die. I mean, like, yep. Alright. I mean, you could have killed the Syndra, prevented her from doing that shit, but you chose not to and decided to click in a random position. The longer you take to make these stupid-ass decisions, the longer they have a chance to, the more likely they will have a chance to respond. And they responded with the teleport as well as a Warwick able to escape. Now, most of their champions are free to make moves. Like, you could have killed Lux to prevent her from casting all these utility snares and slows. She still has exhaust, which you don't really know if she has exhaust or not, but still, she still is a threat. And you could have landed a 3-man ulti, deleted the Syndra, or pressured the Syndra to the point where she can't make an aggressive play. And you could have also chosen to kill the Lux, which prevents utility from being dropped on the battlefield, such as slows and snares and burst damage from her. But you chose to walk in a circle or move in a curved position, which doesn't really do anything. It literally did absolutely fucking nothing for you to not use your fucking ulti right there. Like, what the fuck? The ulti, you know, also does damage, if I'm not mistaken. Like, the whole point of it was to get a locked fear. They were so clumped that they were basically asking, "Wait, hey, we're out of position." If you were a Malphite, you would have ulted that, and you would have only landed two of them. It's the same. Treat it the same as a Malphite ult when you see their group like that. Like, it's strong. The reason why it was so good there was because when you land the ulti, you split them up, and then like all of them are feared, briefly CC'd. It doesn't matter what the fuck Warwick is doing. Who cares? Like, Jesus Christ. It's like you're trying to peel, but what the fuck is your peel? You E them away from him, and you don't even know how to ramp up your E properly at all. So what's the point? Instead, just ult them, kill somebody. Like, you're playing Hecarim as like a team playing jungler, and for like the 8th time, this is not a team champion. This is a solo queue murderer. He fucking kills everybody. He gets 20 fucking kills a game, and that's how you carry. You don't deliver shit to your team at all. Like, what the fuck? Okay, good job. Also, don't forget that your ult negates CC. So if you do get binded, you will negate it. Like, she throws a binding and you got hit by it, you will negate it. So you take the damage, sure, but negating the ulti. Too late. React to it like too soon. You reacted too slow, like way too slow. Like, I can react faster than that. Like, you know that they're kind of on it simply because of the way they're dancing around it. So as soon as Echo landed here, I would have ult smited. Like, ult smited. You gotta do it like right away. This one step took way too long. Fuck. Yep. And then that one step hesitation took too long. You got a Colossus. It's pretty sick. But, like, it's not. It's too late. Your only hope was coming back to stealing Baron right there. Your team didn't do very well either, but like, this is on you because you could solo carry this easily. Many kill opportunities were missed. Even during team fights, that's how you come back. And you don't farm enough. Like you gotta farm and you gotta gank correctly, but you have to choose where to farm. Vertical jungling is a concept that's hard to teach because like it's when you do it. It's really inconsistent because some people like they start their Raptors first to deny vertical jungling, but because he came out of the jungle with 1 CS, then that you knew that was a problem. You just assume that they start on one side and then you make until they make a move, you don't change your decisions. Like you should be doing a standard full clear that you always do with doing blue, then Gromp, then Wolf, then Raptors, then Red, then Krugs, then basing, and then buying, and then redoing that thing until you find a free gank. But once he showed up after you finish your Gromp, stop doing Gromp. Just move straight to his Raptors, take all his Raptors, move straight to his Krugs, wait for the minions to go away so you can clear his Krugs without getting spotted by his minions. That way nobody invades you, then base, etc, etc. So that's a choice. Okay, so you can push this lane out because it's a cannon minion wave. As soon as you finish doing that, the next thing that you should do is you should just move into your jungle, clear it, and then just base. Like, you should really quickly clear your jungle. They're in a team fight right now. You could go and defend, but personally I don't think that you should be able to defend it. This third push is kind of unnecessary. Instead you should be clearing your jungle. Like, the problem is that like you choose to clear lanes, but you over clear the lanes. Instead, you should be clearing your jungle. Like, it's also important that you clear things that are available to you as resources, because then it denies them clearing it. Because lane minions and resources, like your jungle, are completely different. You cleared 3 waves. Just leave the cannon when you minion wave. Stop EQing at melee range, for fuck's sake. That's like the 5th time I've had to watch that shit. Like it's as if you only use it to like power yourself up briefly. Like, what the fuck, man? If you're charging at someone, just calculate. Okay, I got 4 seconds to get to them. Let me see how long it takes for me to ramp it up. And then you move side by side too to just get it ramping up a little bit more. Like, just because also, what if she nets you, right? So then you move side to side as you're charging at her to dodge the net. What the fuck, dude? Why did you just hit a minion? You die. At this point, are you just trolling me? What the fuck was that? Doesn't matter if the game's fucking over or not. This was a winnable game. You just keep hitting minions with your fucking E auto, and then you either E auto. Oh, okay, flash. You either E auto like at melee range, like your E empowered auto attack is hit at melee range, or you just hit minions with it. Like, what the fuck, man? Get it in like your head that this ability is a champion pusher. Like, you can do some really creative shit with it too. Like, it does a lot of fucking damage. Sheen gives you, let me see. Sheen gives you 360. Okay, so see the damage difference? It literally doubles, including your ratio. So you get 360. I was gonna calculate it, but 360 plus 60 is 420 damage plus your Q. So your Q does 190 plus 44. So that's 190 plus 44. But remember that when you E and Q, you empower it too. So like, when you EQ at melee range, another thing is that if you EQ at melee range, what happens is your Q itself will not be as powerful. So if you ramp it the fuck up, the ratio, like, because you get base AD for having more move speed, and therefore if you have 100, like, you know, the bonus move speed from your E, you will get more damage for your Q because it's ramped up. So then you Q them and it hurts for more. Right now, you can, even if you do a max EQ, you're only dealing about 600-ish damage, which is a lot of fucking damage. But you can deal up to like 1200 if you fucking ramp it up with Dead Man's Plate, obviously. But like, you know what I mean? Like, it comes into practice. Like, see that is a melee ranged E. That's not the E that we're looking for. We're looking for a fully charged E, and the fully charged E, like the fact that you knocked them at night, that's a pretty good dodge up. See, like, that is fucking worthless. You dealt 0 damage. Like, this is why. Oh my god, your damage output is so low. Watch, are you gonna do it again? 2 seconds. Let's watch. Here we go. Melee. Oh. Dumb. Jesus Christ. I'm just so frustrated at this. Like, this. Oh my god. This is so bad. Like, I see that you're abusing the shit out of Hecarim, and I get it. He's an amazing champion. Like, holy fuck. Okay, he's an amazing champion. It's just that your decisions to use his spells incorrectly is just pissing me off. I've played like hundreds of games on Hecarim, like, just to try to study his movements and shit like that. And like, anytime I see a really good Hecarim, there was one time where I always assumed that the E is used as a knockback and obviously like a speed up, but there was a player who used the E just for the speed up and didn't even auto attack with it. He used the E to just ramp up his Q, so his Q kept doing more damage, but he never auto attacked his target. So I was like, why would you do that? Because then he's just always gonna chase the guy. Then when he runs out of move speed, right before he runs out, he's just gonna knock him into the wall, which disables them for a quarter of a second. They get another Q off, and I was like, holy shit, I never thought about it like that. Normally I'm just very panicky, and I'll ramp it up to 100, then EQ out of them, because that's usually what I know what to do. That's the standard combo. But I never considered running after them using the E for 4 seconds to maximize the damage off of your Q, then ramming them into the wall just as the E is about to run out, which allows you to stun them for a quarter second. Then you Q them again, and then like, that's free damage. So like, you innately get a longer duration for your damage output. So you increase your damage output by not even attacking them. Like, I was like, that's insane. And it's pretty hard to practice that, because like, it's just not a thing. It was just so uncommon for me that like, I didn't consider it as a possibility. So keeping that in mind, I recommend that you start practicing your EQ combo more at full range. Practice, like, how many games do you have on Hecarim? You have 38 games on Hecarim, so you don't have that much games on Hecarim, like, in general, like, as much as I do on Hecarim, and I play, like, hundreds, I mean, like, a lot of fucking games on Hecarim. My Smurfs might not tell that, but I play a lot of games on my other accounts, my main in particular, too. So, you have a decent amount of CS, you can definitely CS a lot more. In games that you're losing, you're not farming enough. In games that you're winning, you're farming fine. You should be farming a lot regardless of whether or not you're winning or losing, because the only way you come back from losing is because if you farm up a shit ton and stuff like that. You need to use your E better. You need to use your E better. Like, it's an absolute necessity. You must know how to use your EQ auto attack combo a lot better than that. There is no way that you can get around, like, you know, it's just not right. For you to use your EQ combo at melee range, because like you minimize the damage, and your goal. Okay, so you have to remember that your only damage item is Triforce. So what's the point of having Triforce if you just keep the damage to a minimum and not a maximum? You know what I mean? So if you're not maximizing your, like, let's just see, like, you have the potential to do a lot more damage. Like if you did the most damage on your team, I would be kind of surprised. So you only did 12k and this guy did 17k. You could actually do a lot more than this person if you did full E empowered auto Qs and stuff like that, and use your ulti a lot more aggressively. And by aggressively, I don't mean, like, don't go ham with it. Like, when it comes to using your freaking ulti, like, use it as, there's multiple ways to consider it. You use it as a gap closer. Am I recording the screen? Yes. Use it as a, so like, if they're like, here's mid lane, right? Here's the tower 1, here's tower 2. Here's the enemy champion. Here's you in the side bush. You can use your ult as a gap closer to close all this distance, then knock her back. Like, and then they'll travel this way. So use it, you don't even have to use it just for the damage. Sometimes I don't even land my ults. Like, not even kidding, like, I'll miss my ult completely, don't even get the fear, don't even get the damage. I just use it because I need to close the fucking distance in between where I'm standing and where they are. And at the same time, I'll prep up an E and ramp it up to 20. Or like something like really small, then use my ult to gather distance just for the knockback. Yes, I don't have an empowered knockback, but the whole point of me setting that up was because then I shoved them so close into the tower that they have to burn flash. And then I just, you know, if I make my next decision to stay on top of them, I will stay on top of them. If I cannot make the decision to commit to kill them, I don't kill them. Instead, I just push the lane because they're out of the lane. You know that when they burn flash, they got to play a little bit more defensively. So then you just ramp up and then kill them again when you have your ulti, because it's absolutely free. And another thing that you did was, when you should be paying attention to lanes, because remember when I was looking at bot lane while you're like, things that you should be doing, like, if you're doing your camps, check every lane, because you're just auto attack queuing. You're not really fucking, oh my god, I gotta dodge this Gromp skill shot, man. It's got a fucking Tom Kent Q coming out of nowhere. Oh man, no, just look at the lanes, man. You're just Q autoing every single time. It's not like it's the end of the fucking world, right? So the next thing is your route. When it comes to your route, you should be able to adapt your route based on your opponent. You should adapt your route based on your opponent. Because what I mean by that is, like, if you notice where they are, it's called jungle tracking. Basically, if you know exactly where they are, then you can make a game plan. So let's say he comes out of the jungle with 5 CS, and he has double buffs, and you check that he has double buffs. What does that mean? Well, it means that he did his red, then he did his wolves, then he did his blue, because 1 + 3 + 1 is 5. If he comes out with 6 CS, and he has double buffs, then he did one of two things. He did his red, his wolves, his blue, obviously. Then he must have done either crab or he did gromp. Most likely people won't do gromp, because crab is just faster to kill because it doesn't deal damage, because they're usually healthy with it. But gromp is a lot better to kill because it gives a lot more gold. Just takes a lot longer, but it gives a lot more gold. It kind of depends. If they come out with 7 CS, you can also conclude that they did both the gromp and the fucking crab. If they come out with 8 CS, they probably took a lane minion or some shit, or they took both crabs, which is kind of weird. So you adapt your path based on what they've done. Raptors are 6, Krugs are 10, Wolves are 3, Gromp is 1, Buffs are 1. Add up all those numbers and you get 22 CS. Hence why Hecarim must have 22 CS when he completes his clear. When you have 22 CS and you complete your clear, you will have enough to buy a boot, 300, a sapphire crystal, 350, totaling 650. Then another 250 for a hunter spot for 900 gold. 900 gold is all it takes for you to start ramping up. Next thing you do is afterwards you go to Grump, then you do another wolf, then you do your raptors. You look around for ganks as you're doing these camps. You gotta always clear. It's called the ABCs, always be clearing. But you can't always be clearing your fucking jungle like 24/7. That's not the right thing either. You just clear your jungle because you can't really show up into a lane and soak CS. You don't want to take like you shouldn't be in lane for an extended period of time because like if you're in lane for too long, right? If you're in lane for too long, what happens is the problem exists in your ability to clear because like Hecarim's only damage item is Triforce, as we have established, and he goes full tank after that. If he takes too long for ganks, it means that you're not farming, you're not ramping up. What makes Hecarim an amazing threat is the fact that he just shows up, destroys people, and then pushes the lane a little, then leaves. His threat is the fact that he's higher level than the opposing jungler and the team that he is facing. So the reason why I'm dunking so much on Hecarim, aside from the fact that I'm power farming, is because I'm level 14 and they're level 9 or 10. Like, you know what I mean? Like, the level difference between them is so small that my base damages are just roughly higher. And because my base damages are higher, my chances of deleting them are higher. So keeping that in mind, just be aware that it's better for you to swiftly get a kill and then leave. That's why like when the Nasus flashed up top, I said, oh, you should leave. Because if you commit to the kill, you're taking too long. He's either dead right away ASAP or he's not. As soon as he flashed, I would have stopped. I would have maybe considered pushing the lane, and I would have just stopped, backed off, and then started farming my jungle, and then come back later because you know he has no flash. And if you keep going, he would have used his ulti. But like by the time even if you kept going and burned his ulti, then backed off again and didn't kill him, he still will have ulti by the time you show up again. But he doesn't have flash. That's a 5-minute cooldown unless he's running 12-0-18. No, if he's running 12-0-18, he still will have lower cooldown. It doesn't matter. It's a 4.5-minute cooldown. You get the idea. It's a long cooldown for flash. But what's not a long cooldown is your ulti. Also your ghost, and you have insight. I know you take insight because I see your masteries. So that means you have a shorter cooldown on ghosts. You can use 2, maybe 3 ghosts before he has a chance to even use his flash. You know what I mean? It's probably 2 ghosts. That's more accurate. So, with that being said, the next thing that you should do is also warding before you enter a lane for ganking. Because this way it allows you to, one, set up defensively. Because then if you keep going, if you go for the free kill, the next thing that you would do is you would make an aggressive play, right? Like, so like you go in for the kill. I want this kill. But you gotta ward beforehand because what if during the gank someone else is coming? Do you back off or you keep going? Well, you don't know. In this current game, you don't have that information existent because you don't ward before you enter the fucking lane to gank. And there were 2 prime examples. Top lane, when you ganked the Nasus, you did not ward upon entering. I saw you had a ward, you did not place it. You should have placed it. That way you would have known, shit, there's a Warwick coming. Well, let's back off. Also, you can use intuition because like Warwick had to back after he got really low. And then he's gonna, once he's done, he's gonna go clear his jungle because he doesn't have blue buff. And blue buff spawns right about the same time your red buff spawns. And the reason why you know that is because he took your red buff first, then the next thing he did was his blue buff. So like roughly around that time, his blue buff would spawn. Next, bot lane. Well, nobody came, but like before you enter the bot lane to get a gank, actually no, someone did come. It was Syndra. You didn't ward the tri-bush beforehand, so that way Syndra came and killed you guys. So most of the time, like obviously it's a high variance thing, but it never hurts to ward. Like I haven't never heard someone say, "Oh my god, it's really bad to ward." Like as a jungler, like no, you should be warding too. You're building correctly your items and stuff like that, but like consider that you need to ward a lot more. Don't change your you can change your trinket to blue trinket or sweeper. It's better if you change the sweeper to obviously deny the enemy of vision so that you can come out of nowhere and smash them. Your EQ combo needs working on. Stop doing it at melee range. I'm really mad that you do it at melee range. It's not efficient. You're wasting the potential of your full damage because that's what you need to do. You need to maximize your damage because it's all you've got. You need to ult more aggressively, like not only to use it as a fear or damage, but also to use it as a gap closer. In certain situations, you should see, oh my god, they're clumped, boom, disable them, split them. That's it. Like that was the only thing that you needed to do in that game that was absolutely critical. And why was it so critical? The reason why it was so critical was because at that particular instance, if you had ulted there, given the circumstances of the game, you guys were so far behind that you needed something to force yourself to come back into the game. That was your only source of comeback. You guys got 2 kills, but there were so many more kills than that. And the reason why it skewered in their favor was because all the utility that people offered existed. Example: Luxie, Lux Q, Syndra E, Syndra Q, Syndra W. It's also slow. Forgot about that. Uh, Syndra ulti, Lux ulti. All these spells can fly out of nowhere and just deal damage to your team. You can't rely on your team at all. Like I've said that several times. You're not supposed to. You're a greedy jungler. You're not a. I'm gonna give you the farm because I think you can help me out. No, 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 no. Hecarim goes around, deletes carries, takes everything that he wants. He ain't no. Yeah, I'll help you out, buddy. Nah, nah, nah. That's not how you play it, man. You're playing as if you're a team player. That's not how it works. I'm looking at your champions, and I see 3 champions right here. These aren't team champions, buddy. In fact, I actually like these champions too. Teemo's actually really fun. As dark of it as to say, I hope there's no haters out there. But this is a fun champion. This is actually a very aggressive champion, a good champion. Map control, offers map control. Blinds, 1v1 solo kills. If you run teleport, lol, which is pretty funny. You flank them, blind them, fuck them up. Trinmere, split push for days. Kale, split push for days, deny getting killed. Team champion. Team champion. Easy to learn the game with though, but team champion. I recommend learning up a new champion. And these are more like team heavy champions, you know, like you get the idea. But these 3 champions are pretty sick. Anyway, if you're gonna learn practice Hecarim, you also have to consider that this isn't like the thing is you don't know how to Hecarim, and at the same time you also don't know how to jungle. So it's like putting 2 things together at once. Right now, there's the only thing you really have to work on aside from thinking about your ultis and using your E more efficiently, because I can't really comment on your Q. I mean, it's a fucking Q, right? Using your E's and your E and your R ability need to be worked on for sure. At the end of the game, if you're carrying like this, like look at this 806, you shouldn't be dealing this much damage. This is not. I expect you to deal the most damage if you are the single-handed carry. So that's like Hecarim. The whole point of Hecarim is the hard carry games with the most like this gets outclassed. Like it's like, do I still have my Hecarim games on my account? Like that's the bigger question. It's been a long time since I've seen my Hecarim games, so if they're not there, then yeah, of course they're not there. But look at my like, notice my KDA is actually a lot higher because I go for a lot more kills. But obviously that doesn't mean like just go for kills, go for kills. I mean, your farm is at 74 and I have lower farm. It means I'm doing more active ganks. I have a lot more assists too and I have less deaths. You don't really want to die on Hecarim. You're a full tank. You know what I mean? Like, notice like in the games that you crush, you don't die as much. These like this is okay, I guess that's an exception. But like the games where you start like winning, it's like your damage output isn't as high as I expect it to be. You're actually supposed to be a heavy carry. Like how is a Yasuo out damaging you? You know what I mean? Like these games. Oh, another thing about the Hecarim is your games end sub 30 minutes. That's good. You have a time limit of 35 minutes because eventually people will be with the whole changes to catch up experience, like your damage output becomes significantly lower as the game goes forward, because if you keep going on, like remember your damage has a cap. It doesn't get higher after a certain period of time. So like all you can do is just delete the enemy carry, and that's pretty much it. Yeah, see, this is what I'm talking about. That's the damage I'm expecting to see. That's what I'm talking about. How does Cassidy get out damaged by you though? That's pretty fucking hilarious. A no damage champion, like a no damage that's outside of Triforce champion, just gets out damaged by a fucking or cannot out damage a mage, and he built tier. What an idiot! Jesus Christ. Anyway, yeah. Practice your EQs, practice your ultis, timing your ultis better, and then just consider tracking the enemy jungler. There's so many things that you have to do that affect the entire game as a whole. When it comes to tracking the enemy jungle, just see how much CS that they have and compare it to what buffs they have. Always look at your lanes. If you see them, you need to look at them, click on them. What did they do? If the red buff duration is about to run out and their blue buff is fresh, it means that they started red, for sure. It guarantees that they started red, then they moved to wolves, and they do raptors if they did the 5 CS start. If they did a 6 CS start, then they must have done the crab along the way, etc., etc. So you just kind of make analysis and judgment calls based on what information you are directly given. That's pretty much it. Okay, so if you have any further questions, just PM me on Skype. and coaching is available. And I mean, like my Skype is right here, so like you guys can add me up for coaching. So that's pretty much that's Hecarim. I'll see you guys next time.